Hello everyone, Storm here, and today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on the spin-offs and future of the Walking Dead franchise after the main series finale. This is kind of a sequel to my video about how much the finale meant to me, but you don't necessarily have to watch it before this one. You can check it out after. But I've got a lot to discuss, so let's get into it now. Spoiler warning for every spin-off and the main Walking Dead series, including the finale, so make sure you check all that out before watching this. So in the series finale, we see Rick Grimes in a CRM jacket, which is very similar to the one Silas Plaskett wears in The Walking Dead World Beyond before being captured by the CRM. This, combined with the fact that Rick is taken again in the scene, implies that he is now some sort of prisoner or worker for the CRM. He probably escaped briefly in order to send off some of his stuff and a message for someone to find. After I finished the finale, I waited until the full playthrough ended just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I got a message on screen that said, "See you in 2023, Fear the Walking Dead new season and Dead City." Let's talk about Fear first. So Fear the Walking Dead is interesting. Is it really as bad as everyone says? No. Is it some overlooked work of art? No, absolutely not. But is it solid? Kinda. The first 3 seasons were all good, with the second making some bad decisions that hurt them a lot in the long run, and the third being forced to pick up the pieces. But overall, I like all 3. Season 4 did a big time jump in order to fit Morgan into the story and completely abandoned the conflicts that they built up near the end of Season 3, but honestly, I'm gonna be real, I still like Season 4. They should have waited at least one more season to bring in Morgan, but when you make bad choices, they can still turn out fine if you play them right. And I think they kinda did the best they could in that season. Of course, the best they could while still bringing in Morgan and having a huge time jump and leaving behind all the conflicts. That said, Season 5 of Fear is arguably the worst season of the entire franchise. I'm dead serious. It's so boring and the writing is awful at times. But toward the end, they introduce a new villain, and that takes us into Season 6. The 6th season is an absolute masterpiece, and I don't say that lightly, rivaling some of the best seasons of the main show. It's that good. So when Season 7 came out, with all these characters now built up as great because of the last season, and having special announcements for extra special things to happen in the season, I was beyond hyped for this show to finally hit its stride. And then it was terrible. Not as bad as Season 5, but arguably worse in some areas, with some overhated moments for sure. I think what they did with Alicia is pretty good writing for the most part, in my opinion, but tons of people hate it. Bottom line, they set up Season 8 pretty well, but with the way the show had gone, I had no clue how it would be. I mean, we had 4 good seasons, a terrible one, then a work of art, right back to bad. It's unpredictable, really. Then we got some recent set leaks which possibly confirm another large time skip, and I don't like that because they just built up Morgan finding Padre. So did it just take years to find it? Did they already find it by the time the season begins and they're just already living there? I have no clue. But after the finale of the main series, with those possible references to Padre, I have a little more faith. Now, they could still terribly fumble, but I hope it's good, and I think that they could do it, hypothetically. Fear the Walking Dead's viewership has declined terribly every season, so I'm hoping that the main show ending will do what the creators expect. It'll draw more attention to the spin-offs, which will hopefully apply to Fear as well, especially since they put Morgan in the finale with all the tributes to all the other characters. So, I hope that that'll make people wonder, I wonder what he's doing. Oh wait, he's in Fear, let me check it out. Of course, I don't know the odds of that happening and Fear the Walking Dead suddenly becoming like, it's obviously never going to be as big as The Walking Dead, but like, if it could at least like hit 1 million views again, that'd be good. I want to see the show succeed and continue, as right now, based on the viewers, it's looking like Season 8 might be the end if something doesn't change. But anyway, that's enough about Fear, let's talk about World Beyond. If it wasn't a limited series and it continued, I would have been happy. Hell, if they bring the show back for a 3rd season at some point, I'd be so down. Or even if they bring the characters into something else, that'd be cool too. I really like the show, and it's definitely overlooked, overhated, and whatever else. It has great ties to the CRM, and where it left off, some people think certain characters might meet up with Rick or Michonne at some point. This was the show that gave us our first look at the variant walkers, barring Season 1 of the main show for obvious reasons. I would love to see these characters return, if not for anything more than just for people who brushed World Beyond aside to say, "Who's that?" when they appear. Like, yeah, I told y'all to watch that show, and y'all made that video do terrible. L. So I already made a video about Tales of the Walking Dead in depth, so go check that out to see my thoughts in detail. But the rundown is basically, I don't think it was the best thing ever. Some episodes were the best thing ever, but some bored me to death. That said, I'd love for them to keep trying to expand the universe more. I want a second season at some point. Moving on. So when The Walking Dead announced a bunch of spin-offs, I was kind of bummed because they basically spoiled that Negan, Maggie, Daryl, and Carol would all survive. These are, by the way, the 4 main characters since season 10. So, yeah, that's kinda not a good thing to do, is spoil that all of them survive. Now, nobody actually thought Daryl and Carol would die, but I thought Negan was a possible option before I got this leak. Not that I wanted him to die, but they could have done it and made it work, like it is a possibility. But instead we get Isle of the Dead, which was quickly changed to The Walking Dead Dead City. An inferior name, but whatever. With this being the first new show, I'm gonna be real, I'm excited. Everyone expected Negan and Maggie to get taken away or find something that makes them go explore New York in the finale, or maybe Herschel and Annie get taken, but I am glad they didn't cram that into the finale. There was already so much going on, there just wasn't much room, and it keeps us wondering about the setup for Dead City, which they will likely give to us in the first episode. I think now that Maggie and Negan have a much stronger dynamic and that I can actually bear to watch, this show has potential. All the people who dropped the show after Glenn, which is now the midpoint of the series, by the way, in terms of episodes, got super mad when they saw this. Why would Maggie have a show with the guy who killed her husband? This series really fell off. Buddy, you haven't watched a literal half of the show. How do you know how effective the character development has been? Why are you mad about a series you don't watch anymore progressing? Shut up, go sit down, watch The Walking Dead, catch up, and then talk. But yeah, I think the show has the potential to be really good. And anybody hating on it who hasn't seen the most recent seasons, yeah, your opinion doesn't matter. Next one is the properly titled Daryl Dixon, which actually people don't like the title, but I actually think it's cool. It's just what it has to be. That's it. Originally planned to feature Carol, but Melissa McBride sadly did not want to move to Europe. But it's okay, as I think Daryl does have the capability to lead a show if the supporting cast is really good. Daryl in the later seasons got a lot of development, and I don't think early season Daryl could have really done this, but now I think he's grown enough and he's been shown to actually carry the lead role quite well. Although, he was sharing the spotlight with 3 other characters, so having Carol there would have been a great help, but like I said, I think Daryl can do it if the rest of the characters are good. He's always been the type of character that bounces off other characters, so yeah. And because he's going to Europe, which is where we saw that ravenous, super fast, strong walker in World Beyond, I am hyped. Just picturing Daryl on his motorcycle trying to escape a herd of running walkers is straight gas. And gives me Days Gone vibes. If you've played that game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's amazing. So I've got plenty of hope for Daryl and his show, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. And now, let's talk about the Rick Grimes movie trilogy. Oh wait, right, hold on. And now, let's talk about the 6-part limited Rick Grimes and Michonne series. This is the one everyone wants. We got a teaser for the Rick movies years ago, and shortly after he left the show, and we've gotten nothing since then. Changing it to a series makes sense given the rise of Disney Plus's Marvel and Star Wars shows in recent years, so I'm not bummed it isn't a movie. And plus, with 6 full-length episodes, this will be about as long as a movie trilogy anyway. I'm super excited to see where Rick and Michonne's story goes, find out what Rick has been doing, finally see more on the CRM, and hopefully set up the conclusion of this story. The CRM story, not the whole franchise. I don't want it to end. If they can manage to stick the landing with any other show, that'd be great, but this is the one that needs to succeed. The only one that even comes close is Dead City, because Dead City is the first of this chain of spin-offs. But this is the one everyone has been waiting for. We've gone so long without Rick and Michonne that doing anything short of perfect with them would feel devastating. But do I think they can do it? Absolutely. AMC has proven that they know how to utilize these iconic characters and that they know how important they are. Even just their appearance in the finale tells us that. And obviously, the entire show speaks for itself. They're some of the best developed characters in the whole franchise. I'm also hoping that we'll see all of these spin-offs lead to a similar place where characters collide and reunite to finally end the CRM story once and for all. That should be built up over the course of a couple years, and probably seasons worth of the new shows, but I'm here for it. This franchise has given me everything, so I want to see it be everything once more. I hope you guys are as optimistic as I am, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.